Hello, this is Jennifer Martinez, and today we're going to look at the following two questions on how to solve inequalities with negative signs, and then we're going to graph them on a number line. So let's look at the first one. Use the multiplication property of inequalities to solve the inequality. Let's do the work here on the right. To solve an inequality is the same rules as solving an equation. You want to get the x alone, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 13. So the left side would be an x. What's different about inequality is this greater than sign. If you ever divide or multiply by a negative, you need to flip this. So the answer is x is less than 3. That's very important. So I have a note here. When solving inequalities, you need to reverse the direction of inequality if you ever multiply or divide by a negative. This makes sense. Why? Let's do a check. Let's plug in something smaller than 3, like 2, into our original equation. The left side becomes a negative 26. And negative 26 is indeed bigger than negative 39. Remember that the larger the negative, the smaller the number. If this was just positive 36, positive 36 would have been smaller than 39, positive 39, but because both of these negatives, it got flipped. So let's look at the solution. We can see here the solution is x is less than 3. This is called set notation. All this means is the set x, the line means such that x is less than 3. So C, you can see the answer. The reason that they have the graph here as such is that you can see that they shaded the left side of 3 to indicate that the x was less than 3. On the right side is not shaded because 4 or 5 are bigger than 3, and those are not solutions. The parentheses indicates that 3 is not included. That is a less than or greater than. If you had a less than or equal to, then it would have been a bracket if the 3 was included. We'll see that in question number 2. So let's move on. Now we're going to use the multiplication property of inequalities to solve this inequality. So let's go ahead and write it over here. To solve this, to get t alone, I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 8. So I'm going to multiply the right by negative 8 and the left by negative 8. Again, when we multiply or divide, we need to flip this inequality. So the solution, as you can see over here on the left, they did not put it in set notation, is t is less or equal to negative 24. And the graph would be things that are smaller than negative 24. So to the left of negative 24, which is negative 25, negative 26. Now, the difference between C and D is C, if it was just plain less than, the answer would have been D because the negative 24 would not be included, but now it's a less than or equal to, so it's a bracket. So we use a bracket one way or the other when it is a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, and we use a parenthesis when it's a less than or greater than. Hope that helps.